Okay, guys, we are in a Walmart parking lot here in a small town in Florida. And some people ask, are you still allowed to park overnight at a Walmart if you're an RV or if you live in your car and van? And the answer is yes in some areas and no in others. There will be signs posted in some Walmart parking lots that say they don't allow overnight parking. Some do not have those signs. This is one of them. And you see some people utilize it for one day and some people kind of take advantage of it. So as we go down here, you'll see there's a motorhome, a Class C, that's pulling a cargo trailer. Okay, so whether or not this person comes back every night or not, I don't know. And it's not my business, but I'm just using this as an example, as me myself being a nomad and documenting my journey. I found that there's some people that even if they come here every night, they come late at night and then they're out early in the morning and they kind of respect the lay of the land. And there's some people who take their fifth wheel and they drop it off. See this fifth wheel here, there's no truck in front of it. So someone, has dropped off their fifth wheel and they've left it here. Now, whether they just did that today or they do that every day, I don't know. I'm not here every day, and again, not my business, but it's an interesting thing. In the conversation of this nomadic life, it's like, where do you park? And the answer is campgrounds or stealth parking in Walmarts, gyms, truck stops, etc. And there's some people, like I believe that person, I'm not 100% sure, but that person could be living out of their van. And I've seen a couple people with truck campers and, sleeping in their car here. So again, whether they do this for one night or several nights is the issue. And like everything, some things get abused, but like everything, I believe that most people try to respect it and they utilize the parking lot for what it is. A place to park and sometimes overnight stay. But I don't know if you would drop off your travel trailer here. That you wouldn't do. But the biggest hurdle you face as a nomad is finding safe, legal parking. And some people have figured out that obviously a Walmart or a truck stop or different areas like that allow parking. And what happens is human nature is we get comfortable. And before you know it, you're not just overnight parking. Before you know it, you're basically dropping off your fifth wheel. And before you know it, you have not just begin to live a nomadic life, you begin to live a static life and you're in one area all the time. And, like you see down here is a truck driver. And nomads and truck drivers are pretty much one and the same. And, however, with truck drivers, when you're driving a big rig like this to our left, they're here dropping off a load or passing through, like they got plates from Ohio. And, they're not going to come back here every night, every day for weeks on end. So that's kind of the difference, right? It's like they're on their job, they're taking a break or whatever it may be. And, again, I don't really have a major issue with people that come back to one spot every night because, we all kind of do it to an extent in some times when we're nomads. So I don't want to be a hypocrite. And I'm not going to make this big grand speech that people abuse the system and that's what ruins it for everyone. It's, look, when you sign up for this nomadic life, and if you don't have a home base and you're a full-time nomad, you got to figure it out, okay? And some people figure it out. They go to the same spot every night, and I'm not mad at them. And I have my own ways of doing my own thing, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite. So, but the best thing to do is if you are going to make one area kind of your main go-to, is kind of use it as what it is. It's like you come late at night, you don't cause any problem, you keep yourself very discreet, and you're out before the sun rises. But however, if you're setting up camp or if you're dropping off your travel trailer or whatever, now that town may allow it. Like this town may allow it, I don't know. And the issue is eventually there's a new sheriff in town, literally, or eventually there's a person who complains to the county or township. And then what happens is the cops do a sweep. The cops get enough calls or they have a new regime and they decide to say, you know what, we're going to go at night and, tell these RVers and these van life people to move. And they'll do that. So it's like, you can get comfortable because maybe for weeks, for months, maybe even for years, no one bothers you when you park at this Walmart. However, cops have meetings every day, and you may get a new chief in town, or again, you may get that call where a citizen calls and says, you know what, I just don't like this. And then before you know it, you're forced to find a new place. And what happens is, human nature is we settle into a habit, we get complacent, and some people get entitled. You feel like, well, I've been parking my van or my car or my RV here for weeks or months or even years, and no one has bothered me. Why can't I keep parking my RV? I'm not bothering anyone. And you're right, but you're wrong in the fact that this parking lot's not yours, it's Walmart's. And at any time, Walmart can change the rules, the township can change the rules, and you're not entitled to park anywhere. As a nomad, you're going to have to be an adult and figure it out. Does it suck when you're kicked out of a Walmart parking lot or you're told you can't park here no more? Of course. Is it fair? Yes, because it's their thing, but again, it's like, we're all just trying to figure it out. It's like, it's not easy to be a nomad for a long period of time, because human nature is to settle, not to keep it moving. I'm talking about after a long period of time, not after a couple of weeks or a couple months or even a couple of years. I'm talking about decades. So this transitional life is a transitional life. But when us nomads, when we try to make this a permanent life on the road without a home base, we run into the obstacle of, where are we going to park? And some people say, well, I'm never going to leave this parking lot until I'm kicked out. And some people get away from it for years. And so, I don't know, there's no answer. This is an observation, not a judgment, not an answer, not a preachy thing. It's an observation of my real life travels. And what I can tell you is that, think about seriously what it's like to live in a parking lot day in, day out. It's not that bad. I live in parking lots, I live in campgrounds, but it's not for most people. And if things change, you will get upset. You will, maybe lash out, and maybe, I don't know, but you'll adapt eventually. But it's something you have to keep in mind is you don't have a home. A nomad is defined as someone who doesn't have a permanent home, a permanent abode. So it's like you're trying to make something a permanent home, but there's nothing. You signed up to be free, and part of being free is you're responsible every night to find out where you land. You're not entitled to land anywhere. And that's the give and the take. That's the pro and the con. That's what eventually gets people out of this lifestyle, is that, the long-term wears and tears of living on the road eventually kind of make it not worth it if you're not just doing this continuing loop around the country, or if you got comfortable in the area and things changed and laws changed and, mindsets changed. And so it's just something that I encourage everyone to give thought, because it is a little bit of a riskier life living as a nomad, for the fact that, you got no guarantees. You got no responsibilities per se, other than to respect the law, respect the lay of the land. But you got no assurances. You got no place to park every night. You got possibilities. That's why they say, like in the nomadic community, have a plan A, plan B, and plan C on places to park. Because there's a chance that you go to your plan A, your place to park at night, your primary plan, and the cops come or a security officer comes or whoever and says you can't park here. And then you have to go to plan B. And then if you go to plan B, if you go to your second parking lot and no cops bother you, but you feel unsafe, for whatever reason you feel unsafe, then you have to go to plan C. So that's okay for a couple of times, but if you're doing that every night and you're constantly moving and not at rest, it's like, what am I doing? I'm wearing myself out for crazy stuff. So that is something that I want to share with you. Walmart still allow it depending on the town, but how long you're going to do it and how you're going to be able to adapt if you can't do it is something you got to answer. Okay. Hopefully my videos help. If they do help, please click that blue join button, support the channel, check out my playlist on my channel, a bunch of free videos, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.